Welcome back. We're in conversation with Madhu Khela. And before we took that break, we were talking about two big themes that Madhu is betting on in a big way. One is carbon neutrality, and we'll come back to this in more detail in a bit from now. And the other is artificial intelligence. But Madhu, I want to pull you back to some here and now themes from the futuristic ones.
Let me also tell you that is also here and now, but we can talk whatever you want.
So we discussed government capex as a big theme, right? And that's been growing gangbusters.
Exactly.
Which are the pockets where you think most of that money is going into? Which are the areas where you still see opportunity?
So I think infrastructure is one place where I still feel opportunity. That select companies in defense have seen very large gains. But I think selectively, as we were talking that word, euphoria, maybe you can see a little bit out there, right? The stocks have slightly become expensive from a near-term perspective, right? At least
Same
from
for railways, because that is another area
railway,
where...
again, is one thing which was very apt maybe 2 years back. Stocks were really suppressed. And some of the companies have seen significant upside. So let me just say, Prashant, if you are a 5 or a 10-year investor, you will still make money here because these are large themes, right? But if you are looking to make money from this level in the next 12 or 24 months, some of these stocks may consolidate or you may see some correction as well. And as we're discussing, within one sector also, you can find one very
Big
compelling
dispersion.
idea and you can find euphoria within the sector also. But I think
near term, you're
infrastructure,
saying defense and railways, perhaps it's a little overheated.
A little overheated, for sure, in my opinion. And I reserve the right to be wrong,
Absolutely.
right? And second, infrastructure as a theme, I still feel is not really played out by the market as a whole. There are not many companies in which lots of research report is being done by brokers. And if you look at their quality of balance sheet has improved substantially. Their order book position has gone up many X in the last 2 years. And the government focus is clearly there to build rail, to build road, to build transmission lines, etc., etc. So that is where we are invested also. And we don't think stocks have become expensive there.
You have an investment in NCC, right?
We have investment in NCC, ITD Cementation, Viatec, Warburg. So some of these companies.
And these are all for the long haul. I mean, you think
it is
that the
all
potential
it's purely for a long haul, absolutely.
Okay. What other specific area? Pharma is one bet that you've made.
Yeah, we took, and it has not worked out in the last 12, 18 months. Variety of reasons. The logistics cost in pharma had gone up a lot. And, last 2, 3, 4 quarters, numbers have not been good.
Right.
US FDA visits were very curtailed because of the COVID problem. But we continue to like pharma theme from a medium to long-term perspective. Some of the companies have already started reporting better than market expected numbers.
Right.
So I think pharma as a theme for the next 1-2 years.
But we're talking about domestic facing pharma?
It's a mix. It's a mix.
US generic.
US generic plus domestic pharma. It's a mix. When you talk, a lot of pharma companies are present in all the areas. Some of them are present only in US generic. But I see opportunities. Prashanta, in this, the trick actually really is only to be able to work on a bottom-up basis. If I tell you the theme is very good, and if you go and buy a company which has a lot of challenges, then that theme will not work for you.
Correct.
So I can clearly see that there are a lot of bottom-up opportunities here. Considering where the markets today are, and considering how much underperformance.
In a way, it's a relative call.
It's a relative call,
right?
Absolutely.
Because
relative call, and there will be absolute money made.
Absolute money made. Of course. Financials is another big area, which, of course, I mean, it's 40% of the index in that sense when you talk about large cap financials.
So I would love to talk to you. So they basically, if you look at 25% or 27% of the overall market cap is financial companies, right? There are roughly 100 companies listed in financial companies, which account for 25% of the market cap, right? And if you are in a bull run, this is the best leverage you can buy. Because when you want to play the bull run, on 1 rupee equity, there is 7, 8, 10 rupees of leverage which banks have, right? Because of their nature. So if you are truly in a bull run, right, then best way to play the bull run is to play the leverage. And I get a diversified leverage. When I play the banks, I get diversified leverage. It's not in one pocket that if that goes down, then I will have a challenge, right? And again, banks, at least some of the really good quality banks, have also not done much in the last 2 years. So again, I don't want to tell you that whole financial sector is an opportunity. There is, as we discussed in the beginning itself, there might be some euphoria in select NBFC, in select PSU banks. But sector as a whole, I really love this sector. It provides, if you look at the last 10, 15-year track record, every year, without fail, there is at least 2 or 3 or 4 multi-bagger opportunities within the financial sector.
Within the space, right. By the way, Indian Overseas Bank crossed the market cap of once a name that you own, which is Canara Bank.
Yeah, yeah, but
I mean, that kind of makes the point of what you were talking about earlier, right?
That's how
within the sector there is...
Yeah, that's how the markets are. And that is why, you know, to really make money, you have to really work on your company which you own. While the theme is very important.
Right.
The theme is equally important as the company.
Is.
Now let me tell you, you know, Indian Overseas Bank, which you mentioned, which of course I don't own, has made more money than Canara Bank. But the fact is that, you know, the theme worked. So everything has worked.
Everything has worked. You own Canara Bank, you own IIFL Finance,
yes,
Karur Vysya Bank.
That's right.
And anything else, I mean, within that space?
No, we have some large banks as
of
well.
course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. I mean, financials is one. Before I come to the next sector, Madhu, I want to just tell our viewers that everything that we're discussing, stock sectors, it's for the purpose of education to try and understand, I mean, how, as a veteran, he thinks about these ideas, these themes, and how he decides to take bets. It's not telling you to buy or sell stocks.
Exactly. It's not a recommendation from me.
Let's talk about the next one, which is China Plus One. Yeah. You told us earlier in the interview about the troubles that China is facing.
Yes.
And that FDI number and what could happen if a small percentage. Are you seeing that happening in a large way?
It's clearly just beginning, Prashant. It's clearly there on the ground. Because what COVID has done, you know, previously when outsourcing meant that you want to buy the cheapest thing, right? Now, post-COVID, people have also started thinking that what if that whole source closes down? Then what happened in chips? You know, the world actually came to a standstill. So we can clearly see willingness of a lot of companies worldwide to maybe make India as a second base, right? And the government policy of this PLI is just came at the right time. When you know the world is really struggling with only one source, and PLI is a big thing, Prashant. Let me tell you, they're planning to do 2 lakh crore rupees of PLI over the next 5 years. If all of that gets consummated, which means you're talking of roughly 40 lakh crore rupees of turnover, then only at 5% I can get roughly numbers, right? Then only we can get to 2 lakh crore rupees of incentive. Now, these are very large numbers. And in certain sector like EMS, you can already see. You know, certain sector like textiles, you can already see. And when you talk to people in this industry, they will reconfirm to you
that is happening.
That it is happening, it is just beginning.
Again, the problem though with like electronics is the second largest import for the country, so it makes sense to make a lot of the stuff here, and that is happening as you say.
Yeah, exactly.
But are people already bidding these stocks up, and one needs to be...
Stocks, you have to be careful. See, again, you know, opportunity and stock market are two completely different things.
Right.
And as we said that stock what you want to buy from a larger theme. Ultimately, you have to do your work, you have to do cash flow, you have to do valuation.
But on a general basis,
on a general basis, there will be a lot of opportunities in this China Plus One theme over the next 5 to 10 years. That I can tell you.
And electronics is top of the, I mean,
electronics,
if there is a sector which is
forging, engineering, stocks, textiles, there will be chemicals. So it will not be one sector. It will be, you know, from variety of sectors, this will come. And you just have to be watchful about, you know, when stocks become attractive. Prashant,
but there is a certain...
attractiveness of market, my friend, you have also seen. Not long back, in the month of March, which is just 4 months back, there was so much of gloom here and there that a story looks over, this, that, and stocks had corrected a lot.
31st of March was the...
So I want to tell you one most important thing which I learned and which I want to share with all the viewers. Doing work on a company and execution, you have to make 2 different compartments.
Right. Right.
When you learn about a company, that is not necessarily the day that you want to go and buy the company. you've learned about a company, you've done your research, it is not falling into your parameters of value, right? I'll keep my work ready. I am sure there will be some external event which will happen in the world, and it keeps happening. In 32 years, I have seen hundreds of events happen in the world, and maybe that will provide me the opportunity to enter that company.
Correct.
Most of the time, the mistake which we do, that when you do the research or we learn about the company, same day you want to go and execute.
Which is the problem.
Which is the problem.
Utilities is another area which I think you do find comfort. Is that a relative call, or you think on an absolute basis you will make a lot of money here in this space?
So we are only looking at green energy.
Okay.
I have not invested
on the
in
thermal
that.
side.
No,
or anything
thermal
of that
side
sort?
we have not invested in that. And whatever investment which we had, of course, sold some of them. But I am very, very positive on the green energy side.
You want to talk to us about, again, with the disclosure that we already made, you bought a company called Transformers and Rectifiers, right? Recently. Just the thought process behind making that investment.
So with due disclosure that this is not an invitation to buy this company.
Absolutely.
So this is a small transformer company based out of Gujarat. So what we saw that, you require 2.5, 3 times more transforming capacity to transmit green power, whether it is wind or solar. So demand for general transformers will be very, very high, because most of the power capacity which is being added into green on the green side, right? Second, of course, if you see, there is a clear consolidation which has happened in the sector, where the sector went through a very rough time. A lot of very old companies, some of them got liquidated, some of them are still facing liquidity issues, etc. Third, when we talk about the China Plus, now you just imagine if Ukraine has to be rebuilt. Given the geopolitical situation, will they buy any transformer from China?
Unlikely.
Unlikely, right? So where will they buy the transformer from? So now again, I am a dreamer, I dream, I do my work, and I take a bet.
But what is the dream here?
The dream is that can this be, is there an opportunity for this company to be a few thousand crore revenue company? According to my judgment, yes, there is an opportunity. But let me again tell you, the people who are following me, I want to do with folded hands, request them that I have a 3 to 5 year horizon in many of these companies. If you want to really do research, you do your homework, and if you have a 3 to 5 year perspective, then definitely consider investing into my team. But if you want to make quick money, I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do it. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said. One more name I want to ask you to talk about. Repro is a company. Again, it doesn't fit in any of the themes in that sense, but it's a very interesting idea. It's a very interesting business. Has been listed for a long time, but you made a purchase there. What was the idea again?
So again, Prashant, nobody talk stock specific, but you are. But with full disclosure, again,
Yes,
I would say it's a unique concept. That it is, in my opinion, it has a concept which can disrupt the whole publishing industry in a very big manner, because they have the capability to print a book on demand.
Okay.
Right. So all of this inventory which is being kept, whether it is a retailer or a distributor, and if I can print a book, and it is more economical, considering all the costs, because I am removing all the cost of commissions.
So this enables what? Just-in-time?
It enables just-in-time book delivery.
So you don't have to have a large inventory of books kept at...
So basically, you have digitally equipped yourself that you can print one book on demand, and you can put 500 books simultaneously of different subjects at one go.
Okay.
So it's just a theme, it's a just idea. I liked it. Let's see how it plays out.
Well, those are two ideas. Fantastic that you could share your thought process. And I think
the whole idea was to share the thought process. We never talk about individual companies, but you are quite persistent, I must say.
And I hope it was useful for all our viewers. Learning from a veteran in terms of how he identifies themes and kind of bets on opportunities. Madhu, it's a pleasure having you with us here.
Thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for having me.
Really enjoyed interacting with you. Thank you so much.